Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Edward here, back with another video, and it's Monday. It was insane. I haven't seen a Monday to be this good since I don't know. I don't remember when was the last time we had a Monday like this, that it was this nice. And as you can see right here in the charts, I was able to catch in the same day, which I normally try to go for one bias, but the opportunities they did showed up, and I ended up taking sales and then a freaking beautiful move to the upside. I could have made a lot more money, but I mean, I can't complain. I cannot complain. And I want to make this video also as part to like to hey, to let everybody know that you're probably not being profitable because you're so greedy. You're just so ambitious and you're always trying to catch huge moves. And that is not going to happen, all the time. You really don't know. We did have news today. We actually did have um hold on, let me put it from here to here. So we did have some news coming out, but they weren't like a it was not like a big deal, of news coming out. It wasn't that big. So it did cause a little volatility, just barely enough to show us where the price wanted to go. And I will break down the setups in a minute. But again, you guys have to understand, like, look at my buy, for example, right here, and look at where the price go after my buy was hit. Look at this huge, gigantic push. It's like, come on, man. You could have made, yeah, I could have made probably 5K right here. Ended up closing the day with just $1,000. $1,000 already for me is huge. If I just showed you here my tracking data, this was just today. So I ended up making 6 positions in overall. And you see, like, if every positions are normally small. I don't aim for something too big, too huge. This was last week, and this is just this week, just starting today. So you can see they just keep adding up. So I don't care, okay, how big of a, like, what's the risk to reward on that trade. Ideally, a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 is just fine for me. I used to think that, hey, if you get a 1 to 6, that's awesome. Yes, it is. It is freaking awesome if you get your 1 to 6. But how often you can get a 1 to 6 hit? It's not all the time. You know. So, anyways, I'm gonna break down. Probably, I'm gonna start with S&P 500 here today. We are still strongly bullish. The markets just keep going up and up. And I mean, that's fine by me as long as I can get a daily setup. All I need is just one daily setup. That's it. So if we go on a daily, one thing we see here, of course, this is today's candle, but this candle on Friday on S&P was telling me, this rejection on this daily fair value gap right here. Press tap, swept that previous daily low, right? And then retrace all the way back up. We have a failure to close below. So that means that I'm expecting price to move towards the opposite side, the opposite direction, right? This is pretty much called candle science. I'm expecting price to move at least towards this high. We were quite close. If we compare S&P to Nasdaq, Nasdaq was more bullish. Nasdaq actually did close strongly bullish on Friday, so it was a big difference. And right here. So this is today's candle. This is the candle that is just forming, of course, the new day. This is for Tuesday. But this was on Friday, right? Look at the daily candle on Friday. It did close above in comparison to this one. Look how bullish was Nasdaq on Friday in comparison to S&P, right? So, and it had taken already this high while S&P was not. The S&P had two previous daily highs that had not been taken out. So this is why I was trying to go bullish, or thinking that, hey, if I get a good setup, I could probably go bullish, right? So let me break it down now. So let's go back down to 1 hour right here and 15 minutes. First of all, this 4 hour fair value gap, I had it on the chart, just marking it up. By the way, just to show you that I did take these trades, this right here is my group. This is my VIP group. This is where I posted all the setups, all the entries. The ones for this morning, hold on. I was expecting this first sell, which I'm going to break down right now, right? That was the sell. And then you can see the price just melted. So we have first, we had this 4 hour, right? 4 hour fair value gap right there. That's kind of like my higher time frame PD array. So I want to see how it's going to be reacting in that zone. So I normally trade New York session, right? I don't trade London. I try not to, right? Now, this day, I see that recently during London session had taken an old high from Friday. So, and as you can see right here already, after this sweep, we had a big displacement to the downside, right? And this displacement, if I go in lower time frame right here, this big displacement, this is still London. This is 4 in the morning. Let me bring it up all the way to New York. 6. Okay, still. There we go. New York. So New York right here. Let's go back to the 15-minute. So we see that this move, look at after the sweep, after price swept this high right here, it sort of displaced back down. And that displacement, the closure right here, this low, when the candle closes below this low, when this candle right here closes below, that's a change in the state of delivery, right? Or order block. So that is telling me, well, those who trade during London, they would probably going to expect price to displace lower, to go lower, right? So we do have only one fair value gap right here, right? On the 15-minute time frame. And from here, this is the interesting part. New York session is just opening now. And I'm seeing that formation, right? And I'm like, okay, I am going to take a chance right here to go selling, right? Because another thing is if I go back to the daily, in case the price decides to come back down, probably much deeper into this, I could be targeting probably that low, although I was more bullish. But because we had that recent liquidity right here, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to target at least this low. And probably after the price sweeps this low, I could be going long, right? Because I'm still more bullish on S&P. So price was in a good position. I really like this fair value gap right here, this displacement. This was telling me that at least I was expecting price to go during New York session to sweep this London low right here. So price did its thing, the struggle right there until finally I was taking the position. I actually entered on Nasdaq as well. I was seeing Nasdaq doing exactly the same, as you can see in this formation. This was the same, sort of the same. You see, we got a sweep, displacement to the downside, had a fair value gap right here. Price, by the time the New York session opens, which is this gray zone, I'm taking the shot as well, targeting previous lows. So right here, this is what happened. Price, nice displacement. It struggled a little bit, but look at this, because after the struggle, after that accumulation, price does end up sweeping. And this is actually this trade that I want to show you right here. This one is this one right here. I went to the 1 minute after hitting TP right here. After hitting TP on this one, I went to the 1 minute and I saw that huge big displacement. And I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. This is looking good right now. This is what I want to see. This is the sweep and an immediate rejection. You waited for the next candle, and there we go. We do have a fair value gap right here. And I'm like, oh man, this is it. I got it. Price is going to push up beautiful from here. Probably is going to come back down to tap. We'll probably hear this actual order block. So I'm making my entry, and the price does come down, activates the entry, and it's sort of pushed up. I'm able to actually take a little over 50%. I was closing in this position. I was entering small. As you can see, I'm always trying to trade small. I'm not looking for a $2,000, $5,000 trade. No, I normally trade small, right? And just keep adding up. So I close about a little over 50%. What I do know is that I did not put my stops on break even. So price actually did ended up dropping and it stopped me out. But because I closed a little over 50% of my position when the price stopped me out, I still closed with $10, just $10 I had over. So anyways, yeah, price just came back at me. I was so pissed off on this one because it was looking beautiful. I was still convinced the price would go up. It's trying. It's just playing with me. It just, I had it on my mind. I was just, this shit is just playing with me right now. So I'm not trying to get into revenge. I'm just waiting now a bit more patience, and like because as you can see right here, the stock exchange just opened 9:35, right? So probably this was the first volatility after the stock exchange. It needed to sweep one more low, and that move really pissed me off. But anyways, after that, look at what happened. After that, we immediately had a rejection to the upside right here. Boom, closing. That's already a validation. I already have an order block, right? The validation of the order block. And just waited a little bit more. Price was building that fair value gap. So this is where I was placing my position in here. Look at this. So price came back down using the Fibonacci as well from the low to the high right here. Price pulled back. This is my order block. There's a breaker block right here. Price activated. I place my stop loss below the breaker, and you could have easily placed it probably here. You know, I explained my team that why my target was so short. You know, I could have totally even aimed this actual swing high, right? Because Nasdaq has been pushing up so strong, and but we were having this sort of divergence, right? Because S&P had not taken the high, right, from a couple of days ago, has not taken it just yet. I could have easily targeted this high, right? Especially if I use also right here with this technique, which is using the Fibonacci from the low to this high, pretty much of this manipulation move right here, and I go into projections. If you look right here between 2.5, yeah, exactly. So somewhere around here, this area, I could be targeting that. So price from there just literally blasted all over. Look at it. So I was satisfied because at the end of the day, I took 6 entries. There were 5 wins, and of course, this one right here that I count as a loss. It's fine. I don't freaking care. So beautiful, beautiful catching the sale and at the same time understanding where the price is going right now, um, and taking action. So I'm not I'm all the time, every time I trade, I always tell my team, guys, you should not be just looking all the time for huge, huge moves, okay? Because you don't know when they are going to happen. You really don't know. No matter if they're news or not, you don't know if this is it. This is gonna be the trade that's gonna give me 5,000 pips, right? No, you don't know. So we target the closest ones. Okay, as long as I can get at least a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, I'm fine. If this trade, for sure, I'm placing in this time, I'm trying to place my stop loss now a lot shorter because I do have a breaker. So I'm placing my stop loss below the breaker. If I were to place my stop loss right here, look at my risk to reward. 1 to 1 point, it's just 1 to 1.4, right? So in this case, I would have probably used my FIP, right? And definitely be targeting this highs. So that's, I could have taken a lot more pips right there. Yeah. But when it comes to risk rewards, it's just look 1 to 2. It's just a 1 to 2, almost a 1 to 3, right? So it's technically the same. So I don't, I don't panic. I don't force it, So it's technically the same. And right here on Nasdaq, as you see, they were very, very similar. I was able to catch the same sell. Hold on. The same sell right here, targeting these lows because we did have that formation. Okay, one more sweep, displacement. Price was struggling right here a little bit until pretty much New York session open. I decided to take the risk. And I thought the price would go at least towards this low. Now price did go, swept the liquidity, and after sweeping this liquidity, you have an immediate rejection. Look at this immediate rejection. Okay, we just have to be patient. I was also holding this trade right here. This was just a 1 to 2.8, right? Trade. I closed 80% when the price was hitting TP. I actually closed 80%, and I was holding the remaining all the way down to this daily fair value gap that I had right here, thinking that, hey, we're probably going to have it. Hey, I don't know, if we had a reversal, I could probably be targeting this internal liquidity right here. So no, the price actually did not go all the way down. It did go lower, a little bit lower. And look at this. So yeah, that move, boom, very aggressive. Second candle, immediately coming back down. I don't see any bearish fair value gap being formed right now. So there's something telling me, hey, we might actually have a reversal now. Price might actually be looking to go up. So with that, we did have this accumulation, this 1 hour fair value gap right here. This is still kind of holding the price. It's been tapped a couple of times. It's been kind of holding, right? So I go to the 5 minute and I wait for price to show me that change in the state of delivery, which would be above this opening price right there. So next candle, boom, there we go. It does form that. Another thing I'm seeing is we do have a breaker now. This candle right here is a breaker block, right? If you wait for the next candle, now, boom, you have formed a bullish fair value gap. You see, as the price was going down, it was not creating bearish fair value gaps, and instead created now a bullish, and you do have a change in the state of delivery. You do have a validation of the order block. I mean, that's it. The stop loss below the breaker, I placed it below that wick of the breaker. I was first trying to place it right here, but then I changed my mind. Like, no, I'm going to put it below that wick of this candle right here, that breaker. So the safest zone would have been here, safest zone, right? But I decided to make it right here today. This is up to the person, up to the trader, you know? And again, similar, I could have used the fib from the low to the high of this manipulation and then go into projections and just basically target 1 to 2, which is somewhere here. This would have given me a 1 to 6.4 risk to reward. A lot better, right? But guess what? I don't care. Price tapped in, go. Beautiful. I was out already. Yep, price would have given me a lot more today, as you can see. A lot more. Look at that push. Come on, it went all the way down to 4. This is not all the time, guys. I don't know. I'm not a wizard. I'm not a magician. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to. How would I know the price would skyrocket today? 300 and something, 350 pips or so. It was insane. So I'm targeting this high. That's it. I'm out. So don't be greedy, guys. Don't be greedy. Don't be always looking. Don't be looking for massive risk to reward ratios, because they may not happen all the time. If they happen, they happen. Cool, nice. That's beautiful, right? But they don't happen all the time. So don't be greedy. This is probably why you're struggling here. And also not being profitable, because you don't want to take partial profits. You just want to see the final TP getting hit. And the reality is that you need to scale down as the price is going your direction. Don't be greedy. Close some profits, take some profits, maybe put stops to break even, right? So you have to be smart about that. You have to that's the only thing that you can actually control, right? We don't control where the market is going to go, but you can control what lot size you're going to use, when to close, when not, where to put the stop loss. Those are the little things that you do have control of. And that's pretty much what I teach. So if you're interested in being part of my team, I do trade live with my team every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, Mondays and Fridays I don't go live, but technically I do send all, like, everything, every single move. I do my analysis right here, my breakdowns, everything. This is lifetime mentorship. So if you want to follow me, if you want to be part of my team, make sure to visit my website, teamprofitsenglish.com, and you can look at the program right there to join. So let me know if you have a question as well. Just let me know in the comment section. Give it a big thumbs up. I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.